Ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, welcome back.
It's so funny you just said that because I was
thinking
thinking it.
Welcome to episode 30 of season 2 of the Intermission podcast, joined as always in studio by Nathan Brown. Nate, what's up, bud?
Not much. Just thinking about how our audience is a lot of gentlemen.
It is a lot of gentlemen.
Medley of gentlemen.
It's a lot of gentlemen.
So, gentlemen, if you know any of the non-gentlemen that you could put on the DI Army, send them our way.
Yeah, we're looking to attract some female listeners and some consumers of the content, but you know what? We're happy with what we got, so don't get discouraged. But I will say, Nate, this pregame show is brought to you by Manscaped. And gentlemen, we talk about it every episode. Get trimming those bushes. You don't want to be going in and playing in the Bush League. Order the Lawnmower 4.0 at manscaped.com. Use the code TDI for 20% off your order. It's an amazing deal. Nate, I mean, you love it.
Oh, it's one of my favorite things ever. You know what's underrated in the package?
What's that?
That newspaper.
Okay, yeah.
You don't use that?
No.
Oh, man, it's hilarious. You just put it under your feet, right?
Yep.
And then it just scoops all the hair, and then you just scoop all the hair wherever you need to dispose of the hair. And it has really funny like things written all over it too. It's really funny. It's cool.
Wow.
It's a really good idea.
Okay, I see how it's...
Because like, you know, normally you're doing the old like over the toilet kind of thing, and you're like, I'm gonna miss some. Someone's gonna know. You know, not this way. Not thanks to Manscaped.
Yeah. So I mean, you can get a full package like Nate just mentioned. It's an amazing deal. So go check it out on Manscaped. Nate, I was thinking the other day, you know, after I've consumed a few beverages, I'm pretty bad for starting to get the text going, starting to get the messages, sending some flares, and it reminded me of a funny story from when we were in our first year of university. We were both in the same town, both same city of Charlottetown, PEI, and
Big city.
what was it, Mondays or Tuesdays? It was degenerate what we used to do.
Yeah, we used to do the. I don't even know how it came to be on a Monday, because like Tuesday was, I don't know about you, but like my busiest day.
Oh, my school schedule was packed. I had math at 10 in the morning. I ended up missing like 3 of them.
Yeah, like Sunday would have made a lot more sense. But
Yes.
yeah, so basically we used to do the Century Challenge. And if you're not familiar with that, you take a shot of beer every minute for 100 minutes. So, I mean, that pans out to, by my count, an hour and 40 minutes straight of taking a shot of beer.
Yes.
Is that correct?
And what did it end up being? It's like 8-10 beers.
Yeah, it's a lot. And
In an hour and a half.
yeah, which is a good way to I'm glad you brought that up, because when you think of like a shot of beer, you're like, oh, that's nothing.
Yeah.
It sneaks up quick on you.
Big time.
Comes up quick.
We used to have a playlist too, and it would switch songs when it was time to take the shooter.
Yeah.
Of beer.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I mean, one of those, we did that for probably, I would say, 5 or 6 of Mondays.
I was going to say we had to. Yeah.
I still remember it close to clear, sitting in your and Jake's kitchen doing that. But I remember one of the nights. So we were 18, 19 years old, and we were sitting there, and I had proceeded to go onto my Facebook, and I face called. What was it called? Voice mess or no?
Facebook video call.
Facebook
I think,
video
or
call.
something like that.
Something along
but
those lines,
also to mention that that's kind of what we did too. The 3 of us we'd get to like that peak, and then we'd just start calling our friends and stuff, and then eventually it would just kind of like snake out to like girls we did not know.
Yeah. So I called that night, I think my entire friends list, and I mean, people understand, like, in high school and just beyond that, you got 600-700, close to a lot of friends on Facebook. A lot of them not like they're your friends, they're just kind of associates or contacts that you have. And we called them, and I woke up that next morning with those missed calls, and it was a tough scene.
Yeah, it's always bad, man. That's Jeez.
Those nights were awesome, though, man. They were those, and so shout out to Jake Hendrick, who was a regular who joined us on those nights. But Nate, kind of, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm glad that's something I've never really like had a habit of doing when I'm drinking, because I feel like my anxiety would be just absolute skyrocketed in the morning.
For sure, it's a nice icebreaker every once in a while. But no, we're gonna continue on the pregame show. It is worth mentioning today. Quarter 1 is MLB. Quarter 2 is NBA. Halftime show is who holds the sports record. Quarter 3 will be NHL, and we'll take it home in quarter 4 with the PGA Tour. But Nate, Chris Rock's younger brother has joined the Celebrity Boxing Associations, looking to take on Will Smith in the ring. This saga continues to drag on. I'm not really sure your thoughts here.
I'm starting to think it's more and more rigged as more stuff comes out.
For sure.
I mean, we got ticket sales. We got those high.
Yes.
Now we've got Chris Rock's brother trying to start the Logan Paul fiasco and just start a boxing match.
Yeah.
Or does he just want to fight? I'm sure there's got to be some. He wants a ring.
Yeah, he wants it to be sanctioned boxing.
Oh, come out.
Yeah, because he joined the Celebrity Boxing Association. Or I'm not even sure if that's an association, but he's looking to make some cash on this. And it seems like you said, Nate, that there's some there might be a little bit more substance to this situation than what's visible from the surface. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But I mean, that's still being talked about. I mean, the slap that was heard around the world. So we'll see what happens with Chris Rock's younger brother, Nate. Baker Mayfield moving into the NFL just for a brief moment. Baker Mayfield continues his sob story. He came out over the weekend and he said that he was very concerned that Cleveland didn't treat him well in telling him that they were going to be moving on from him and moving on to Deshaun Watson. It's been quite the musical chair show in the quarterback rooms of the NFL, and it looks like one individual who was left without a chair is Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that he brings up like that he wasn't treated fairly, because I mean he's kind of had every opportunity known to man as a starting quarterback in the last few years.
Absolutely.
So I don't know how you can say he hasn't had a fair shot at it. I mean you've had the opportunity, you just haven't really done anything with it.
For sure. And I mean, it was a merry-go-round of quarterbacks in Cleveland, and Baker Mayfield was the first one to finally kind of play 4 or 5 seasons, but he didn't, he was holding them back. I mean, their roster is stacked. They've got a great team, and one of their wide receivers, their best wide receiver, quite frankly, left the team because of Baker Mayfield's play. So, we'll see what happens with Baker. I'm not sure. I'm sure he'll find a backup role somewheres. I don't know if he's going to be a starter come week 1 in the NFL.
That's crazy. He first overall pick, right?
Yep.
Correct? Yeah. That's so wild, man, that you can just be a first overall pick as a quarterback, and then it's just like, well, looking like a backup.
For sure.
Looking like a backup.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to move into quarter 1.
Yeah.
Episode 30 of season 2 of the Intermission podcast. And we're talking MLB, and yesterday Dave Roberts pulled Clayton Kershaw after 7 perfect innings, 13 strikeouts, had 80 pitches thrown, said, nope, that's enough.
Yeah, this one, there's a lot of moving pieces here, I feel like. Because, you've got, this is early in the year. It is. But it's a perfect game.
Yeah, baseball's so analytically driven right now, and it's driving me crazy. I mean, and so it was predetermined from everything that I know, that at 80 pitches, or right around that mark, he's coming out of the game. That is the max he's pitching. He's only played 3 preseason games. These are considered preseason because typically they would play more in the preseason, but I mean, Clayton Kershaw, he wasn't, visibly upset. He knew that, that 80 pitches were all he was throwing that night. But I think there's certain circumstances.
Yeah.
Like we look back to the Tampa Bay Rays in the World Series with Blake Snell. There's certain circumstances if guys are grooving, and there's been 23 perfect games in the history of baseball. Let this guy go for it.
You got to let him go. The other thing is, too, that was a weird thing I saw. I believe there's only been 2 pitchers who've been pulled after that same point.
Both by Dave.
Yeah, both by Dave Roberts.
Both Dodgers.
Yeah. So I mean, that's something to man, you got to let him go. And it's just like I feel like at the point it's like maybe go to the mound or even talk to him. 7th inning stretch, something like that, and be like, hey man, listen, I know you're getting up to your pitch count. If you want to go for it, I'm all on board. But like if I see like maybe if I'm seeing some struggles out of you in the 8th, I'm gonna pull you. Let him go for a bit.
I just don't understand. Like these numbers are so arbitrary. I feel as if who decided that 80 or 100 pitches. Yeah. Who just decided that was where they're maxing out. And I guess there's going to be some science behind it. I get that, but we're dealing with history in the game. I think about the NHL. It's okay, the maximum minutes for Alex Ovechkin is going to be 21 minutes a night. Well, if you're in double overtime, you're playing Alex Ovechkin, regardless if he's played 27 minutes or 28 minutes.
It's just kind of how it goes.
There's history, and there's things, there's accolades, and I know it's a personal accolade, and their end goal is to win the World Series at the end of the year. But man, I was disappointed. For me, this is entertainment. This is the MLB. This is a game.
You want to see a perfect game.
This is for the fans. And anyway, well, this isn't over. This isn't going anywhere. I think this is going to be talked about, and this is actually might spark a nice conversation around the analytics of baseball right now. But anyway, a little disappointed. Nate, moving into the San Francisco Giants, they have hired the first female coach who will be on-field coaching, Alyssa Atkins. So that's amazing for the game of baseball. Yep. It's hard to believe. I mean, I don't know how much. I've always wondered that, Nate. What do the on-field coaches, the first base, they kind of wheel them around when it's crazy how how diverse is that role? How complicated is that role?
I know. I mean, for the most part, I'm sure there's some behind-the-scenes stuff, but for the most part, it's basically just, master. I mean, you may as well be a sign holder on a construction crew. It almost feels like, it's like ring it around the bases or
Yeah.
Double-hander.
And half the time at third base, they're pulling up and they round. Like,
Yeah,
it's like,
it's like they don't even listen.
No, they don't.
So it's like I'm going for it.
No, but that's amazing for the San Francisco Giants for Alyssa Nacken. I mean, I'm assuming that that if she's qualified for the position, she's going to do a great job. And for sure. And it's amazing for baseball. Continuing on, Rob Manfred, the commissioner of the MLB, he decided to send headphones to every single player in the MLB for just a nice gesture for the lockout that they had in the negotiations. Headphones.
Yeah, that should win everybody's back.
Can you imagine Mike Trout, guy who makes $30 million, $40 million a year? He gets a pair of Bose headphones. Thanks, Rob.
It's like sick, dude. Like you just have no money, eh? It's just such a weird thing. Because it's like these guys have every headphone under them. They have a set already of every single one they ever wanted.
I would say there's a large majority of these guys have contracts and sponsorships. I was
just gonna say with
Bose and Beats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, they're dying for these. Like that's prime marketing for them.
This is the Major League Baseball.
Dude, it'd be funny to see what did he send them? Was it just Bose?
I'm not sure. No, it might have been those like free Air Canada ones.
Oh my God.
The old plugs.
Got the cord in them still? Yeah. The old plugs. You can't even get them in the new iPhone.
Anyway, Rob Manfred doing his best to mend the relationship with the
players. You got to do better than that.
Yeah, I would think
That's
so.
Absolutely. Like send them all a car. Yeah, but even that, you can't really send these guys anything.
I was thinking like a card and flowers. No, I have no idea. Honestly, that's a good question. Like if you had to send something to mend the relationship or to show your appreciation, what would you send them? I mean,
to a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, and to a lot of people.
You'd almost have to get something custom made of like them.
Yeah,
for it to really to mean a whole lot. Like who? Like, anyway,
for sure. Richard Millie watches. Anyway, Nate, Philly's third baseman this week, Alec Baum, made 3 errors in 1 inning. He was getting booed pretty hard. Philly fans, we all know what the Philadelphia fans are like. But he, after his 3rd error, what was caught on camera mouthing, "I hate this place." Obviously, got grilled after the game. The fans gave him a standing ovation the next game. Alex Baum came out and said, "Listen, it was emotion that got to me. I didn't mean it."
Yeah, I didn't.
What a show.
Yeah, I didn't expect. You also probably wouldn't expect it to just like. What are the odds they're just zooming it? Man, some of the shots they get sometimes with the cameras where it's just like, they do it like somebody scores in hockey and they zoom in on the other guy that's on the other team. It's like, what are you doing? Like, why must you? But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of unfortunate for him that was caught on film.
Yeah, for sure. It is pretty funny though too. Like when you catch an odd camera angle and you can lip read, and it's the most vulgar language being used for these professional athletes.
Well, it's like what was it? The Justin Thomas and the Masters there last week. Did you see that one?
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh, he whiffed on his drive and he's just like says the F word.
Yeah,
and then it's like they keep playing it through, and he's like sick golf swing or something like that, or FU golf swing or something like that. It's hilarious.
He's a guy that's not afraid to use some language on the golf course. That's
Polo Ralph Lauren will tell you all about it.
And they don't have firsthand. But Nate, I did want to mention Alex Bregman and Nolan Arenado off to huge starts. I mean, they were players of the week last week. Alex Bregman 6 for 14, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Nolan Arenado in his new home in St. Louis, 6 for 12, 2 home runs, 2 doubles. Off to great starts, 2 notable names, and for 2 teams that probably will be making the playoffs come postseason time with Houston and St. Louis. Nate, I was thinking too with these guys off to such great starts. Mm-hmm. If you were in the batter's box against an MLB pitcher, how many pitches would it take for you to make contact or get a hit?
Me myself?
Yeah.
Jeez, it depends. Like if I'm getting some like knuckle.
No, we're talking like heaters.
Oh, heaters.
Fastballs.
Man, I don't know if it might be tough to, I don't know. I could get lucky early maybe and just like kind of make a foul ball, but like clean contact is probably not going to happen unless at that same time a pig happens to fly by the stadium. Then I think I could probably manage, but it's going to be a bit. It's going to be a bit. And I feel like I'm going to get discouraged after 10.
It's tough to put a number on it for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to swing at every pitch.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not going to, if you're going to make contact, I'm not going to sit there and be like,
hey, no. Yeah. A little outside, buddy.
Yeah. Good ball there.
I would put it, I was thinking to myself like 100, like I would give myself 100 pitches. And that's when I would say, okay, that's enough.
Yeah. I mean,
if I couldn't get a hit in 100, I'm not probably getting one.
No. For sure.
But we'll see. Anyway, we're going to continue to monitor the MLB. It's an exciting start. Lots of good series going on right now. So we'll continue to update the MLB landscape. Nate, moving into Q2, we got NBA and we got the play-in games alive and well. But first, before we get into the play-in games, Minnesota was playing against the LA Clippers, and a fan went onto the court and glued herself to the court. I haven't seen the clip. I've read a lot about it. But like, how did this go down, Nate? Have you seen the clip? Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. She's an animal rights activist, and apparently there was some stuff that comes out with the owner that he's kind of like not. I'm not sure what he's doing. Yeah, but something with animals. Okay. I'm assuming it's probably something bad. But who knows, right? Like, I haven't looked into enough to even make a comment on it. But yeah, anyway, she just walked down there and super glued her feet to the floor, and then she stood there. Everyone was like, "What are you doing?" And then they just promptly escorted her out.
Would she go to jail, I wonder? I would think.
I don't know.
You can't just like do that. Like,
yeah, I don't know the entire legal system in that.
Banned for life.
Oh, yeah. You'd have to reckon. I mean,
I always wondered that too. Like, Nate, after somebody streaks or somebody does something, like, how do they know? Like, what happened? Like, if they streaked in Cincinnati, if they go to the Dodgers game the next day, like, is it like they could probably get in?
Yeah, you'd think.
You know?
I mean, it'd be pretty tough.
It's not like every stadium's got their face pegged on. Everyone's educated. Like, do not allow this person in there. It's like you're not showing your IDs at these places.
Well, even that, it's like how quickly do you see a streak, and then how quickly do you forget about it?
Oh, exactly.
You know, it's like, okay, I've seen so many people streak. I couldn't put a face.
No, exactly.
Like, the only one I can like remember is like that prankster. It was like Vitaly, used to be big on YouTube, and he did the World Cup final.
Oh, wow.
So he got in some
heat.
But I mean, it was
some hot water.
Yeah, some very hot water.
All right, Nate. So the first 4 play-in games are alive and well to play in to take on the 1 and 2 seeds from the East and West. So the Nets beat the Cavs. So the Nets are going to go on and play the Celtics. So fun few tidbits out of that. And then the Timberwolves ended up beating the Clippers. Patrick Beverley put on a show, as he always does. So the Wolves will go on and play the Memphis Grizzlies. But I did want to mention Bruce Brown came out and he said, they're looking forward to taking on the Celtics. They like the matchup, and he kind of focused in on the bigs of the Celtics. Said that Robert Williams is injured. Robert Williams is a big difference maker. Now they got Daniel Tice and Horford, Al Horford, and then Kyrie came on and just ruined Bruce Brown. He was like, he shouldn't be saying that. They're a great team. He's like, blah, 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 like going on. It's like, dude, like he didn't really say anything that much. He just said they're looking forward to the matchup and that they're missing a key player and they're looking to exploit that area. And KD just comes and it's like almost like KD, it's like if nobody can say anything relevant to the series but me. So Bruce, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
It was a really odd situation in the media.
It's definitely a weird dynamic in that locker room too. Like, I would love to be a fly on the wall in the Brooklyn Nets locker room. Just see what exactly goes on in there.
For sure.
But one thing I wanted to touch on these play-in games too.
Yep.
Like, if Cleveland pulls this out, it's going to be the 8th seed. And I believe it's the same in the other side. So the 7 and 8 will both get in.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Let's just do the 1v8. If the 7 and 8 make it on both sides, it's like, this is cool, I guess. But it's like, I don't like.
I think the Hornets. I think the Hornets are going to be a tough team, man. Like I do like the Hornets, so we'll see. That's going to be a good game. Hornets and Cavs. But you're right. If the Cavs end up winning, I mean, what are we doing here? But the Spurs and Pelicans played.
It's Hawks and Cavs, isn't it?
No, the Hawks beat Charlotte last night to move in to.
But they play Cleveland.
Oh yeah. So the Hawks play the Cavs. That's right. Yeah. To move on. That's right.
Yeah. So
I see what you're saying, because the 7-8 played. Yep.
Yeah, and then
8 lost. Now they'll play the winner of 9-10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry,
that's my bad. Yeah. So you're right. So the Hornets are done, and then now the Hawks will play the Cavs, which again, that would be a great game.
I'd probably rather the Hawks. I'd rather see some little Trae Young action going up against
for sure.
Boys, but
for sure. No, there's exciting players on both sides of the court. But so Nate, let's break down each series and we'll just give you our predictions. So obviously we don't know who the 1 seeds are playing yet. Miami and Phoenix. It's been a long time since a 1 seed's been upset. I'm assuming that Miami and Phoenix will smooth sail through those first round series.
You'd reckon.
So we'll take Miami and Phoenix to win the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a betting man, and
for sure.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
All right, we're going to move into the 2-7 of each side.
Yep.
Starting off with Boston, Brooklyn.
Man, this is going to be a weird one.
For sure.
It's going to be a crazy. This is definitely has more of a 4v5 feel than a 2v7, but
definitely.
I don't know, man. I kind of want to say Brooklyn, but at the same time, like, just as we talked about earlier, like, there's so much going on in there.
Yeah.
There's so many little pieces going on. Like, who knows what Kyrie's going to get pissed off after a game or something. Like, he's so sick, but it's just like, I don't know. I think I might roll Brooklyn.
Yeah, I am as well.
Brooklyn in like 7 maybe.
I'm a Celtics fan, and people are soon to forget. I mean, Kyrie played a couple of years in Boston. He's going to be used to the environment. He's played that in that court. Nothing's foreign to him. I mean, Kevin Durant's obviously one of the best players in the world. I'm not sure, what the supporting cast is going to bring to the table. I mean, Bruce Brown's solid. You got Seth Curry. This Cam Thomas has had a great season as well, this young kid. So we'll see. We'll see. I think Andre Drummond's there as well, I do believe. So, I mean, we'll see what the Brooklyn Nets bring to the table. I know that there's no Robert Williams, but, don't count out Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. They play really, I think they're the best defensive team in the NBA.
Defensive player of the year.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But I'm going to be with you, Nate. I'm picking the Nets, cheering for the Celtics, going over to the Western Conference. Memphis versus Minnesota. Memphis has played such a great year. I'm taking Memphis, and I'm taking them in 5.
Yeah, I'm taking Memphis as well. Yeah. I want to say 6 just for but the NBA doesn't really roll like that. You know what I mean? It could be just a plain sweep, but I'm gonna agree with you. I think we'll give Minnesota a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Give Minnesota a game.
100%. All right, Milwaukee versus Chicago. Chicago is a team that looked really good through 3 quarters of the season. They've been a dumpster fire since. I mean, we're looking at Milwaukee, the defending champions.
Yeah, you can't really side. I mean, you obviously had DeMar DeRozan having a crazy year, but then you obviously, as you say, you look back in Milwaukee. I mean, we're looking back to back here. Like, these guys aren't. I'm gonna say Milwaukee in 6.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Chicago's gonna be able to get a few off them, but I'll be watching Chris Middleton absolutely humming out there
for sure. I'm gonna take the Milwaukee sweep.
Okay.
I just think, I mean, they're battle hardened. I mean, this is a team that's obviously won the championship last year. And I look at the Bulls roster. Levine really hasn't done anything. Vucevic really hasn't done anything. Lonzo Ball, I mean, the playoff experience is very minimal across the board. And then DeRozan. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I mean, they've got a great team that can score, but I just think that Milwaukee's going to be too much for that.
I'm saying 5.
Okay.
Yep. No more 6. Yeah.
Okay. We got Golden State versus the Denver Nuggets.
Golden State, Denver. I mean, I'm going with Splash Brothers all day here, no doubt. I'm just trying to decide how many games here.
This is a team named Golden State. I mean, we were building narratives at the beginning of the year like this, like they were getting Clay back. They were rolling on all cylinders. They were at the top of the Western Conference. You're like, man, this team's going to be back to championship caliber. And then they kind of fell off a bit. Steph got a little bit banged up, but But
I mean, they come into the playoffs healthy. It's just going to be ridiculous. But definitely. I'm going to say 5.
Okay.
I think Jokic could steal a game for Denver. So yeah, I'm going to say 5.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to say 7-game series here.
Okay.
I just think that's how much Jokic is going to be. I mean, think about who's taking on. Are you going to put Draymond Green on Nikola Jokic? I mean, probably not.
That's a fair point.
I mean, I don't know who's guarding. I mean, they've been struggling at the 5 all season. The Golden State Warriors. They haven't got James Wiseman back, so I don't know who's going to guard Nikola Jokic. I mean, he's single-handedly been the engine for the Denver Nuggets. Yeah. And if Golden State doesn't pop it around, if they don't start figuring it out, I mean, I could see it being a quick series. Nate, it really could have 5 games. I just think that Jokic is going to be fired up. I think that Denver doesn't get much love, and I think that that's going to be a nice 7-game series. I think Golden State wins, though.
Yeah.
All right, Nate, moving into the 4-5 of each conference, we got Toronto versus Philadelphia. This one's interesting.
Yeah, this is going to be something. What is it, Shaq? Shaq was on, I think, TNT.
Yep.
He said sweep.
Yep.
For the Sixers. I think Sixers win. I want to say Toronto, man, I don't know. I'm going to say Sixers in 6.
Sixers in 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say Sixers, yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I mean, Embiid and Harden. I'm going to go with the Sixers as well, Nate, and I think I'll take the Sixers in 5.
Okay.
I think that, I mean, I do like the Raptors team. I think that they've made a lot of great strides. And obviously, too, they've got a lot of playoff experience, so Nick Nurse is a fantastic coach. I just think Joel Embiid and James Harden are going to be a real handful for the Raptors, and those guys can dictate a lot of the game, and I think it's Philly's time. I mean, in terms of pressure and, like, ready to win now, and for a market that's just been starving for a nice run in the NBA, I think Philly, and I think that they are going to do it.
I think whichever way it goes, it's going to be an awesome series.
For sure. For sure. All right, Nate, moving over to the West, the 4-5, we got Dallas versus Utah. This is an interesting one here. Gosh, I'm torn. I think this could be a really good series as well. But who are you liking in this one, Nate?
I'm going Dallas.
Okay.
Can't fade away from the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Love the boys.
For sure.
I'm going Dallas.
Friends of the show.
Yeah. I'm saying 7 though.
Okay.
Dallas in 7.
Yeah. Little Doncic. I mean, he's gonna go bananas. Yeah. I like it. I mean, see, I just think that these two teams right here are pretenders, both of them. Like, I don't think that they can make any noise beyond this round. But I am going to take Dallas as well, Nate, and I'm going to take them in a 7-game series. I think it is going to be a bit of a mismatch for Rudy Gobert. I think EO will have his way in the paint. I do think, Doncic is a top 5 player in the league. I do think Dallas is. It'd be interesting to see what Spencer Dinwiddie. I haven't followed him closely, but I do like him as well. He's got the ability to score. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But the Dallas Mavericks hopefully will take down the Utah Jazz.
We're rooting for
Watch
Dallas.
Utah win in 5.
Yeah. Watch just everything be opposite.
For sure.
But.
All right, well, that'll conclude quarter 2 NBA talk. We got playoffs alive and well, but we are moving into the halftime show, and it is who holds the record.
Who holds that record? Indeed, should be a beaut.
All right, Nate, do you want me to start things off?
Sure.
All right, Nate.
Just gonna try and gauge out what I'm dealing with here.
For sure.
Okay, let's rock.
All right, who has the most hits in a single MLB season?
Who? Most hits in a season? Give me Sammy Sosa.
Okay, it was Ichiro Suzuki.
Okay. I think I feel like I've heard that before.
For sure.
Damn. Anyway, here we go. Okay, Greg. Most 50-goal seasons for a player in the NHL. Most 50-goal seasons.
Well, I can tell you right now, it was Mike Bossy for 60, so I'm going to take Mike Bossy for 50 as well.
Okay. Yep. You're. There's actually 2. It's Bossy and Gretzky tied.
Oh, okay.
And so
half
obviously,
point?
no,
Okay.
no, you just get it.
Okay.
I would have had to tell you there was 2, and I think
Okay.
you would have defaultly thrown out Gretzky.
Okay, yeah.
And if Ovechkin gets 4, he's tied with them.
Okay, so he needs 4 more?
Ovechkin gets 4 more goals. He'll be tied for 9 50-goal seasons. Yeah.
Oh, so Ovechkin could realistically surpass them next year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy, eh?
That's amazing.
Gretzky and Bossy.
Yeah.
Ridiculous,
Holy
dude.
smokes. All right, Nate. Who has missed the most free throws in NBA history?
Ooh. This is I'm going to say Shaq.
He's second.
Okay.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay. I get, makes sense.
Yep.
I mean, how much are you going to be up to the line,
For sure.
So, damn. I thought I might have sniffed something out there. Most 60 home run seasons for a player. 60 home run seasons.
I got to go with my guy, Barry Bonds.
It's not a bad guess. Crazy enough, Barry only has 1.
Okay.
And it's 70.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he never laid in the
73.
73, yeah. That's it. Yeah,
so,
just a 70 home run. But it's Sammy Sosa.
Okay.
3 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a fun fact.
That is.
All right, Nate. Which goalie has the most points in NHL history?
Oh, shoot, dude. I looked at this not that long ago.
Goaltender.
I'm going to have to say Marty Brodeur.
Oh, Tom Barrasso.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
That one wasn't popping up. Wow. Most home runs in a season by a rookie. Who holds it?
Most home. I'm going to say Mark McGuire.
Pete Alonso.
Wow.
53, just past Judge
That
a couple
happened
years ago.
And he lit it up during the home run derby.
Yes.
That year.
Yeah.
Pete Alonso.
Judge had the
for New
record
York
prior.
Mets. Wow.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Judge had 52, and then Alonso got 53.
I've got to spark up my MLB knowledge. I apologize, folks. All right, Nate. Who has the most knockouts in UFC history?
In UFC. Oh, man.
He's one of your favorites.
Can I get a weight? Or is that going to give it away?
That'll give it away.
Oh, okay. One of my favorites. Oh, man. I don't think I'm going to get this. Man, I really want to nail this. I'm just trying to double check here. Man, I'm going to go. It's definitely not Chael Sonnen. There's no shot. I'll roll John Jones. Nate Diaz?
Derek Lewis.
The beast. The beast. Yeah, that make that one. You know what?
13 knockouts.
Yeah, that would have given it away too if you give me the.
Yeah.
It's like he's a big guy. It's I bet that we got there. Okay. Most 3-pointers in a season.
Steph Curry.
Yeah. Can you get double points if you tell me how many?
Oh, jeez. I couldn't tell you how many, man. Let me guess here. 216.
402.
402.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. See, that's a number that I
think really Harden's in second place, and he's got 30, 40 on him.
Okay.
Crazy.
All right, Nate. Who has the most PGA Tour major runners-up in their career?
Oh, most PGA Tour runners-up. Are we talking somebody pretty old?
Yes.
Oh. Most runners-up. Somebody pretty old. I'm going to say, I want to go with like Jack Nicklaus, but I might go Bernard Longer.
You were right in the first guess.
Was I?
Yeah.
Damn.
He won 18 majors, came runner-up 19 times.
Wow.
He's got the
Just
most majors ever
sniffing.
and second place 19 times.
Damn. Imagine if you could have mixed those in. All right, last one.
Yep.
Most assists in an NBA game.
Who owns that?
Yeah.
Chris Paul.
Scott Skillies.
Holy
1990.
smokes.
30 apples.
30 apples.
30 apples.
Wow. That's incredible. That's a fun segment.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I like
All
that
right,
a lot.
folks. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that. That'll conclude the halftime show of episode 30 of season 2 of the Daily Intermission podcast.
We were sniffing around on those.
Yeah, we were a bit. All right, Nate, moving into quarter 3, and it's NHL talk. I did want to shout out our guy, Drake Batherson, who we had the opportunity to visit last week in Ottawa. Obviously, he was very sick with a stomach flu. We caught him towards the end of our trip, but he's back in business. He's looking good. He's got 2 goals and an assist in his 3 games back. He tipped 1 bar down last game.
That was disgusting.
So, Drizzy B, we wanted to give you a shout out because you're our guy, bud.
Back in the mix, keeping that point per game alive.
Absolutely.
He's going.
Nate, last night, the Wild played the Edmonton Oilers, and there was a scuffle at the end of the game, and Ryan Hartman has been fined for giving Evander Kane the middle finger.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions surrounding this. So if you're Ryan Hartman, like, don't you have something better in the repertoire to bring out than the middle finger?
I know. It's just so like, just go punch him in the face.
Yeah.
It's hockey. You know, it's like you're just toast now. Get him when he comes out of the box.
Yeah, like
coming
what-
out the same time.
It was absolutely ridiculous.
I think the funniest thing is everyone paying is fine.
Yeah.
You seen that?
Yeah.
What was it? Evander Kane's ex-wife?
Yeah, she came out. Yeah. what
She
is-
sent him $200. It's like the fine's $4,200. I don't know what you're doing. Just trying to stay in the spotlight, I guess. I'm not sure.
She comes out almost weekly with these,
She's
just outrageous
She just
claims.
loves it. She just loves it, I think.
She does. She loves talking about Evander Kane and staying in the media. You're right, Nate. But big announcement yesterday, and it was kind of in the pipeline for a little while. But the Boston Bruins will take on the Pittsburgh Penguins at Fenway Park in the 2023 outdoor game. And you can pretty much, you can lock me in. I'm there. I'm going.
Yeah, I mean, a Fenway?
Fenway.
They haven't had one there before, have they?
I don't think. Actually, have they?
They may have back in the... I feel like one of the early ones was probably... I'll pull it up here quick.
I actually think they have now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
I think it was Boston, Detroit.
Yeah, I know that one wasn't at the... that definitely wasn't at the big house. Because remember, they had that after, and it was... 2010, yeah.
Okay, 2010.
Park, yeah. So...
Who played?
I'm assuming it was... I haven't
Boston,
got them up.
Detroit?
I think it was Boston, Detroit. Because how many have they played?
Boston? I don't think many.
Yeah.
2 or 3. Who knows? Listen, this is
Washington got in a bunch of them, man. Chicago played every other year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the jerseys with Boston and Pittsburgh, 2 black and yellow teams. So
hopefully they do something with like an old blue on the Pittsburgh. Those ones they used to wear were sick.
with Crosby shootout goal with like the light blue.
I didn't love those ones, but it was
Okay.
like the darker blue with like the light blue stripes.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I showed you, you'd know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's
for
got
sure.
the Penguins got the scarf on.
Okay.
It was sick.
I see what you're saying here. Yeah, I do remember that one.
Yeah.
The Bruins, I want to see the bear head in some fashion. So
You got to bring that thing, the crack bear.
Yeah.
It's got to be back, man.
for sure.
It's outrageous that it hasn't been at this point.
Owen Power made his NHL debut. Looked good, man. He's going to be a nice, steady defenseman. The Buffalo Sabres, they ended up beating Toronto Maple Leafs that game. This is a team that, has been, obviously, with the departure of Jack Eichel, a lot of questions surrounding the Buffalo Sabres. I actually like a lot of the pieces that they have.
They
man.
look good. There's nothing like forward-wise. There's nothing like too crazy. But, Tage Thompson's obviously taken an absolute tear.
I really like the...
Dude's like 6'7", man.
Alex Tuck, man. I love Alex Tuck.
Yeah, he's good.
And then Peyton Krebs, obviously a young kid, and then Jeff Skinner's had a sneaky year. His contract's obviously very hefty. He's expected to do this at $9 million a year.
You should be scoring at least 30.
But if you've got Owen Power and Rasmus Dahlin like being superstars in the league, you're kind of starting to look okay. You got to do something in the goaltending position, but
For certain. Craig Anderson can only do so much for you. I was watching him trying to make a save the other night. The puck trickled behind him, and it was just like
tough scene.
Oh, it was just like he took his dear time getting back to the goal line. It's just like that is a 40-year-old man right there.
Yeah,
like he is not ready to stretch
for sure.
But I was also talking the other night when I was watching. I was like, it's kind of crazy how they landed 2 first-round picks, 2 first overalls. They got 2 like pretty stud D-men. And then you also had Eichel when, that was obviously they could have had McDavid had they won the lottery. Like that would have been ridiculous. But, you think they would have a better setup by now, having Dahlin and like if you could have made that Eichel thing work. I mean,
for sure.
It's just a shame.
It's funny too. Like we've talked about the basement of the Atlantic Division right now with Detroit, Ottawa, and Buffalo. You would think in 2-3 years might be a flip flop. You know, these teams might be competitive, and Boston's going to be in a tough area, and as well as Toronto. Who knows what they look like in 3-4 years? And I mean Tampa Bay and Florida. So obviously the scene is what it is right now. But those teams, they're making some good strides, man. They're making some good strides. I think it was worth noting too, Nate, that Matt Beniers
made his NHL debut
with Seattle. Yeah,
Seattle.
I was just trying to think of when did he go for? Was he second or
I think
third?
he was second.
Second overall.
I'm pretty sure. I think it went Power Beniers.
It's funny how the attention completely on Owen Power. Yeah. Nobody knows that.
I even saw some things getting shared of like they dug up Owen Power's old YouTube channel.
Oh.
It was just like him taping sticks and stuff as a kid. It was just like, we got to do this every time. You remember that Dylan Larkin clip a long time ago? It's like going crazy with a stick.
No.
Anyway, it's just people love digging up the YouTube.
No, absolutely. Nate, Carey Price, it's close to a return. Just kind of finally in the NHL. It's going to be interesting. Would you, if you're the Montreal Canadiens, do you think you would play Carey Price with the remainder of the year, or just give him right off a year and then figure out this summer what you're going to do with him? I
would just write the year off.
Yep.
I mean, it's probably better like that anyway. If you try to rush him back, and then if you're going to make a trade and his numbers aren't great, you're probably just going to lose value. I think it's pretty hard for him to, he's going to gain value right now. I think it's going to be hard for him to, have a crazy stretch of like a few games where it's like, oh, okay, he's still the real deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like you're better just holding him out and
for sure,
not risking injury. And it's like, I don't think it's in Montreal's plans to bring him back really.
For sure.
You got 8 games left. They're clearly tanking.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're going to leave it up to Carey, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
Like if he's a guy who wants to get back in that team environment, make him feel like he's, part of the club again, they might put him in, but I agree from a management standpoint, I think leave him out,
he's no harm in bringing him back. I mean, it's not going to make
no,
like you're getting in.
No, exactly. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Carey Price. It'll be interesting to see what the solution is with his contract and moving forward. But we're obviously, we're happy to see Carey back on the ice and kind of making a recovery from, the mental illnesses and everything that he was dealing with in his personal life. But Nate, that'll conclude quarter 3 of NHL Talk of the Daily Intermission Podcast, episode 30 of season 2. We're moving into the PGA Tour. I'm really excited about this story. Morgan Hoffman, who we talked about, I've talked about it on the past podcast. He's diagnosed with muscular dystrophy, an incurable disease. He called around, spent millions of dollars looking for a cure in the Western medicine in North America. Couldn't find one. They told him it was incurable. He went to the mountains of Nepal. He drank his own urine. He now lives in Costa Rica, where he does a bunch of crazy drugs. And now he's starting to rebuild his chest muscle. His pectoral was once close to his rib cage. He can now flex his chest muscle again. He is healing the incurable with it's crazy. And now he's back on the PGA Tour playing on a medical exemption.
Yeah, it's a wild story.
Yep.
I mean, this whole urine drinking thing is crazy.
For sure.
Like you couldn't pay the guy. But it's worked.
I don't know, Nate. Like it's funny because you say that, but what happens if you're put in that position? Like you've got a terminal sickness that's not curable, and
you'd be open to trying anything.
100%
for sure.
I would be chugging my own urine in the mountains of Nepal if they said I've got something that they can't cure and it's going to affect my life.
I'd probably just go the sleeping out front of the stem cell research place.
Yeah, that's
what I'd be doing.
Yeah,
just chilling, being like, you need somebody?
Yeah.
I'll come on in.
For sure. But no, it's exciting. I'm excited to see Morgan Hoffman back in the mix. We'll see what happens with Morgan Hoffman. We got the camera flickering. I think we're going to fight through it. It's still recording.
Yeah.
Once it turns off, though, then we'll fix it. We'll see if we can fight through this. Nate, so it's the RBC Heritage this week, which is in Harbortown, South Carolina. It's a fun tournament. The winner gets a big trophy. They get the plaid blazer as well. A lot of big names playing in it. DJ, Morikawa, Spieth, Berger, JT, Cantlay, Fitzy, Lowry.
Fitzy.
Who is your one and done pick?
My one and done. That would go by the Chilean wonder,
Joaquin
Niemann.
Yeah,
he had some great shots in the Masters. He was sniffing around for a bit. He had that ridiculous eagle. First day
played well. First day with Tiger, -3.
Yeah. I mean, he was back with Tiger the second day too, right?
Yep.
They had
and then Louis dropped out.
Yes, that's right. Yep. Yeah. So anyway, I rolled with him. I'm just kind of trying to hit something to kind of catch back up. I'm like, I had the second place with Cam Smith, or wherever he finished. He might have ended up finishing like 4th, because Roy finished 2nd. But I'm just trying to sniff some money.
Yeah, it's a good pick. I mean, he's got win equity for sure. He's a top 20, 25 player in the world for sure. I don't mind that pick. I went with This Ain't No Hobby, Kevin Kisner, who's experienced. I think he's won this event before. He's a guy who's very vocal about the courses that he can be successful at.
Yep.
Harbour Town's a bit of a shorter course. You don't have to drive it 330 yards. It's not that advantageous. Obviously, long driving is never going to be a detriment on the PGA Tour, but Kevin Kisner thinks that this is one of the places he can win on tour. So I took Big Kiz. I like the way he played at the Masters. He obviously played with Tiger one day. Love Kisner.
Yep.
All right, Nate, that'll conclude quarter 4, PGA Tour. Just a brief quarter 4 now. Let's get into our Fire Wagon and Dog Water of the week. I'll start things off with the Fire Wagon. I'm going Alek Manoah, who pitched, I think, 6 shutout innings against the Yankees, looking like a prime-time player. I think it's his 3rd MLB season with the Jays. I really like this big rig. Alek Manoah, Fire Wagon of the week with your fresh start versus the Yankees.
I like it. I am sticking around Toronto here.
Yep.
I am going with Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Yeah.
This man had 3 home runs, the hat trick of home runs, and not only that, he got his finger stepped on first base prior to the second 2.
Were the first 2 against Garrett Cole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
The first one was a weird one too. It kind of just like stuck on the wall, and then they ended up counting it out.
Yeah.
The guy kind of got a glove on it, but
Yep.
yeah, I believe so. So yeah, I mean, dude, to come out and hit 2 home runs after getting your finger stomped on by a guy running to first base with a cleat.
Yeah.
Bravo, Vladdy.
Yeah, a little hattie for Vladdy. Love seeing it.
Yep.
My Dog Water of the week, Nate, goes to the girl who super glued herself to the floor in the Clippers and Timberwolves game. Obviously, don't like to see that. Fans, take it down a notch. If you're going to protest, I love that idea. Just don't do it during the professional sports game.
Yeah, no. Yeah, also just gluing yourself to the floor is just not going to, it's not going to do anything.
That's crazy.
My Dog Water is the Philadelphia Flyers.
Okay.
This team is absolutely horrible. It's unbelievable how bad this hockey team is. It blows my mind. We had them. We were like, you know what? This could be the year they make some strides. It has been just getting absolutely walked every single night. Carter Hart can't stop a beach ball.
Yeah.
And I mean, Washington absolutely lit them on fire. You had everybody in the bottom 6 score a goal for Washington. The bottom 6 you allowed. Unbelievable. Lars Eller having the worst year of his career. He bagged 2.
Yeah, it's tough. Hey, a nine burger on the Philadelphia Flyers.
And it's just never going to help when your backup's Martin Jones.
Was it 9, Nate?
9-2.
9-2. Anyway.
Absolute mess.
Well, that'll conclude episode 30 of season 2 of the Daily Intermission podcast. Guys, make sure you're giving us 5 stars on whatever you're listening on iTunes, Spotify. Make sure you're subscribing to the episode. Leave a comment. We really appreciate you guys. Go sub to all of our channels, and we'll be back on Monday, yes. We'll be back. Happy Easter, everyone.
Later.